High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
a clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
Friday Night Lights in Nassau County features a Conference 4 showdown as the North Shore Vikings take on the Seaford Vikings on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland and Cohen. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. Alongside Roddy McCoy, I'm John Perez. Roddy, many people are dubbing this a Conference 4 championship preview. North Shore comes in as the defending Long Island champions. They're off to a great start. They're 2-0. And they have a high-powered offense led on the ground by Nick LaRosa.
Yeah, North Shore defending champions. They get an opportunity to, play a really good team tonight in Seaford and to defend their championship. And they're off to a fantastic start this year.
There you see the numbers on LaRosa. He's going to get the lion's share of the carries tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side, Seaford is 1-1. They picked up their first win against Valley Stream South on the road, 26-0 in emphatic fashion, also by their tailback, Aiden Calvaca.
Seaford is the traditional power in Conference 4. This is their house. They want to defend it. And, they want to let everybody know that they're going to compete against the North Shores, and they want their county crown back.
It should be a good one. North Shore and Seaford. Starting lineups and kickoff when we return on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland and Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer,
back back here at Seaford High School, a Conference 4 powerhouse matchup and a battle of the Vikings here in Nassau County alongside Beth Page, head coach Roddy McCoy. I'm John Perez, and Roddy, you know this, week 3, still early in the football season. Seaford and North Shore neck and neck, and it just seems in Conference 4, mathematically speaking, of course, you're either 2-0, 1-1, or 0-2. But still very competitive in Conference 4. Also still early for a lot of these teams at the bottom of the conference as they look to move up.
Yeah, the first 2 games of each year, you got to try to figure out your depth, what you're going to be able to do, and how much you can, get your offense and defense moving. So still very early in the year, but in a big matchup like this, you want to set the tone and send a message to a big competition, potentially a playoff matchup that, we're here and this is going to be our conference. So this is a big game.
Not to mention, too, what it would do for tiebreakers and seedings, as you know, how important it is come playoff time. And if these two do want to meet in the championship round, obviously that would be ideal, but they might meet beforehand, and that might come down to this matchup tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Seaford having the home game, I think would have the advantage. North Shore has to travel here on a Friday night. It's beautiful weather out here. It's a nice September night. And both groups are going to get ready to go, and we'll see who's going to run the ball, a little bit better tonight.
Not exactly the blustery conditions that we had this morning. The wind has kind of settled down, but on a colder night too, still ideal football positions, 2 teams that like to run the ball a lot. Is that something that you expect? Do you expect the throwing to be down, or what's the temperature for this game?
Well, Seaford doesn't throw the ball too much. Seaford wants to throw the ball when they want to throw the ball. North Shore as well. In high school football, unless you're a throwing team, you want to kind of do it on the 2nd and shorts, 3rd and shorts when you can do it, not when it's 2nd and 15 and you're putting your team in a hole. So I would expect that the wind's going to play a factor. The wind looks like it's blowing from from the junior high over this way, so I think it's going to be more sideways than end zone to end zone. So I think if the wind changes and the team has the ball, they're going to look to throw with the wind, and if you're throwing you're against the wind, you're not going to throw the ball as much.
Hey, you just saw the trees down on the right side and blew the flag off. So that's how windy it is. As Seaford won the toss, they defer to the second half, so North Shore will start it off, and this is the North Shore special teams that has a plethora of guys that can return it for large gains and really just a lot of depth. Both of these coaches were really lauding the depth that they had. Now they're dealing with some injuries early on, as is most teams. There's nobody that's really exempt of that. But for North Shore, they're a team that wants to control the pace, like we mentioned earlier, and on special teams, they do a good job of getting good field position for their teams.
Yeah, special teams is a big factor in every single game. It's just not offense and defense. And if you can win the special teams battle, you're usually setting up your team to come out victorious.
So while the teams get set up, we'll give you the officials for tonight. Referee is Vinny Oliva. The umpire is Tom Sheehan. Head linesman is Jim O'Brien. The other linesman is Kevin Keep. Back judge is Randy Geyer. And on the timer is Tom Kennedy.
Very good officiating crew, one of the top in Nassau County.
Kind of like how in practice when you're not saying a guard or a lineman's name, it's a good thing. And with this officiating crew, if you're not mentioning their names and this is the only time, then you'll take that. That's a good thing every single time.
Yeah, this is one of the crews that let the kids play, and, they believe that the kids should, determine the victor of the game. So they were always a good crew that, I ranked high, and I appreciated them letting the kids kind of get it.
Timmy Navin will kick it off for Seaford. He's the backup quarterback, but handles the kickoff. Split time last week with TJ Harrington as he squibs it up the middle as it goes off the fingertips of Justin Rosen, but recovered by North Shore as they will start it off in front of their 30-yard line.
Here we go. I expect North Shore to run different formations. They like to motion guys to get the defense out of position, and then they like to run powers and counters right at you. So let's see what Seaford has schemed up here for them.
And let's meet the North Shore offense as they will be led by Peter Leota, Nicholas Rosa, Ryan Freund, Nick Lavati, Lano Toner, Godfrey, Sartiriadis, Fabili, Bratter, and Molsky. And on first down, the give is to Leota. He handles it himself, and a short pickup of 1. Peter Leota has really developed his feel for the game, says his head coach, Dan Agavino. But he'll go against a tough Seaford defense.
Real nice play there. They had their sniffer, which looks like their wing back there. They pulled on a little bit of a counter, and Seaford, trapped the trapper and did a nice job on D.
On second down, it's Nicholas Lavati, the 3-year varsity starter. And a big pickup, as it'll be 3rd and short.
Jet sweep there to the top of the screen. North Shore did a nice job of sealing everybody down. 3rd and short.
And not exactly an easy defense to go against either. Donovan, Winston, Coppola, James O'Donnell, Calvaca, Knox, Baldwin, Harrington, Jaskolski, and Lewis Kanata rounded out. 3rd and short, LaRosa, the sweep. He's got a first down as he gets wrestled outside of the 45-yard line.
Nice hard run, 3rd and 2. You give it to your best player, and you get to the outside, and he makes it happen.
That's what Agavino said, and I asked him when it comes into field goal range, what's the range of his kickers, what is he comfortable with? He said, well, listen, it's simple. If it's 3rd and short or within 4th and 4, LaRosa's getting the call.
Keep it simple.
Lavati, the man in motion. LaRosa, take 2. And a pickup of 6 gets him across midfield.
Little counterplay. They ran the jet sweep 2 plays ago. Seaford's looking at the jet sweep to the wide side. They counter back to the short side for a nice run.
LaRosa came into tonight's game 267 yards with 3 TDs on the ground in 20 rushing attempts.
Big, strong running back. There's a reason they won the county finals and won the LIC. When you got a player like that, just feed him the ball.
10-2 a year ago, 5-2 in conference play, and a 7-0 win over Shoreham-Wading River, the definition of ground and pound. As LaRosa gets bounced back, and a gang tackle as he gets pushed down. Calvaca was in there as well as Donovan.
Seaford defense ran to the ball that time. It looked like a little bit of a zone read, and they ran to the ball carrier and stuffed it. 3rd and long right here. Big play. Start the game.
Haven't seen Leota throw the ball that much. Because he's got a crowd backfield, and it's LaRosa again, charging towards the first down, and he'll get it. A pickup of 6 as LaRosa once again picks up another 4 and moves the chains.
Real nice play there. A little scissor play across the halfbacks. It looks like they pulled the guard here and they trapped it up with the sniffer. And again, give the ball to your best player. And if you're going to win the game or lose the game, your best player's got to touch the ball a lot.
2 big seniors on the right side of the line for the Vikings. Pat Gottfried and Danny Sorteriadis doing a good job for LaRosa. QB keeper, Leota, he's got a first down and more. Tackled at the 26, a huge pickup of 19.
That looked like a zone read or maybe a quarterback wrap. We'll see. Let's see if the tackle pulls here. No pull, just a zone read. Quarterback keeps it. Right up the middle, wide open.
Leota, a guy that took over for Dan Quigley last year when they moved Quigley to the running back spot. And Agavino has praised the legs that he has, says that he's got a better feel for the game this year, a high IQ. And on first down, the give this time to the fullback, Brian Freund, as he gets gobbled up in the backfield, a loss of 2.
Great read by the defense there. They went back to the scissor play. Defense read it, followed their pulling lineman, made a nice play.
Kevin Knox, the tackle, the senior. He's seen more playing time over the last few weeks. Agavino saying that he was the best defensive player on the JV squad and couldn't wait to get him up to varsity.
Yeah, that's what happens when you build your program. You know, you count on those sophomores and those freshmen moving up, and if they can play right away 2 or 3 years, that's big for your team.
And I think that's one of the balances too, right? You're not going to bring them up to varsity if they're not going to play, as on second down, picking positive yardage is Lavati, as Lavati, pickup of around 9, will have 3rd and short.
That's a nice little jet sweep there, but it looked like to see if Seaford was reading the lineman, it looked like they pulled the front side guard and tackle. So it could be a quarterback counter coming back this way, or it could be the sweep. They went with the sweep that way. Nice run.
3rd and 3 from the 21. Leota, the keeper, and he's got another first down as North Shore continues to move the chains.
Nice block by LaRosa there. That's just a quarterback ISO. LaRosa just led right up. Big hole to run through. First down.
And I think that's one of the interesting things, too, especially at the high school level. Of course, all the praise and the accolades will go to the running backs based on statistics and what they're able to do. But it's the little things like even just blocking when you're not carrying the ball for a running back that separates you in the conference.
And that sets you up good when you get it. There's a counter again.
And there is LaRosa steaming ahead. And a pickup of 5 will get him to the 10-yard line.
The thing that makes the North Shore offense so difficult is you're worried about the outside. You're worried about the inside. But there's just a simple rule in football. Linemen don't lie, running backs do. If you follow the linemen, you will find the ball. And it's very difficult to teach your linebackers that, hey, don't worry about motions and this and that. Follow the linemen. They will bring you to the ball.
About midway through the first, North Shore looking to open up the scoring.
There's that zone read again. Quarterback gave it.
And Lavati will go to the house for the score.
Sorry, John, I talked over you there.
No, it's all good. Nick Lavati opens up the scoring, 6-0 North Shore on the road.
And if you look at the replay here, they've been running a lot of that zone read. They do it with the jet here. So the quarterback's just reading that end. Tackle, I think, pulled around, and he just saw the seam, kept it himself, and he's in for the end zone for the first score of the night.
You have to love the diversity of running for North Shore as Michael Fleming, a converted soccer player, will come on for the extra point. Handles all of the kicking responsibilities. And he drills it. 7-0 North Shore as the wind, you could see, just keeping that ball up in the air. It's going to be that type of night. But either way, North Shore strikes first. They lead at 7-0 midway through the first on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland and Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Back here at Seaford, it's North Shore on the road, a 2-0 team off to a great start. They lead at 7-0. Nick Lavati from 10 yards out scoring the first touchdown of the night. And now it'll be Seaford, the team that deferred, will receive the kickoff.
North Shore gets the ball first. There's nothing better than driving down the field. Seaford didn't really stop them at any point in any of the plays, and they punch it in to take an early lead.
Not to mention the amount of clock that they wiped off. Fleming, a booming kick. And that's TJ Harrington with a head of steam. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets wrestled down at the 25-yard line. TJ Harrington, one of the many multi-sport athletes that we'll touch upon later, but let's meet the Seaford offense. 1-1 on the year, and it'll be Sean Costello will be the signal caller, Aiden Calvaca, Kevin Knox, TJ Harrington, along with Kyle Britton, Devin O'Donnell, Anthony Janes, Neriel Colon, Alex McGarry, Carl Ludistoff, and Jason Donovan.
Seaford's going to be much like North Shore. They want to control the ball and they want to pound it. They don't have a lot of the smoke and mirrors, say, at North Shore with the motions and the pulling. Seaford mostly lines up and says, we're going to punch you in the face. Let's see if you're going to get up.
Seaford 8-1 a year ago, upset by Cold Spring Harbor in the county semifinal. On the first give, that's Calvaca. He gets wrestled to the ground.
Not much push there by the Seaford offensive line. The North Shore defensive line stood them up, drove them back. Only a 1-yard gain on first down.
That was Jack Molsky, and let's meet the rest of the defense. For North Shore, Danny Satiriadis, Isaac Bratter, Matthew Lodicio, Nicholas Arosa, Michael Granelli, Luke Potapov, Ryan Freund, Peter Leno, Peter Leota, Garrett Gates, and James Toner. It'll be 2nd and 9. 3 in the backfield, and they give it to the fullback. And a little pickup by Liam Winston, the senior. First year coming out of the backfield. He was mostly a wide receiver last year.
Nice play on La Rosa. They shifted the power back over, and they ran a power back trap to this side. La Rosa took on the block, came down the line, and wrapped them up.
And that's the key for most of these teams in Conference 4. And quite frankly, on Long Island, these two-way players that come in and make an impact on both sides of the ball. And La Rosa is certainly one of the favorites for all the Player of the Year awards. Costello is rushed out of the pocket and gets taken down.
Tried a little counter pass there. North Shore took the edge away, made the quarterback step up, and pursuit came and got him. 3 and out for Seaford.
Jack Molesky with the takedown, and this will send out the punting unit for Seaford.
That's, as I talked about earlier, Seaford does not want to be in a throwing situation. It was 3rd and long. North Shore knows they're going to throw, and that's typically what happens to a running team when they have to throw. Seaford wants to throw 2nd and short, 3rd and short, not 3rd and long.
Timmy Navin will boot it away. Navin the junior, and backup QB, and a nice kick. As John Half will defer, and TJ Harrington will put his paws on it, and North Shore will take over at their own 28-yard line.
I know this is early in the game, and we're still 3 minutes left in the first quarter, but North Shore ran right down the field on Seaford and punched it in with absolutely no problem. Seaford stalled on 3 and out, so this is a big possession for Seaford. If North Shore could come down the field and score here, up 14-0, either at the end of the first quarter or beginning of second, that puts them in a bad situation.
Well, and just on a quick eye test of the first drive, what did you see out of Seaford's defense that you think they should shore up?
Again, with North Shore, you have to follow the linemen, right? North Shore did a great job of getting outside, inside. La Rosa got the ball. The quarterback got the ball. You got to follow your keys and do your job. You can't do other people's jobs.
Leota will keep it on first down. Charging ahead, a pickup of 3.
Little quarterback counter. Some guys call it counter. Some guys will call it a GT, QGT there. Quarterback had the guard tackle pulling around for him. You're keying on La Rosa. You're not following your lineman. He gets a pretty good gain to start off first down.
Leota now with more than 250 rushing yards through the first 2+ games of the 2022 campaign. Second and 7 from the 32. La Rosa, the sweep. And another pickup for La Rosa.
Again, that's that outside zone read, okay? So he's reading La Rosa. He's reading his keys right here. Here he goes. He's reading. He's deciding whether he's giving it or pulling it. He decides to give it to La Rosa there, who gets to the outside, puts North Shore in a 3rd and short.
Good block by Ryan Freehan, the fullback.
And that's what makes this offense so difficult. You're worried about the quarterback because he's running up. Now La Rosa's going outside. So what are you telling your kids? Hey, watch the outside. Now they're going to come back inside.
Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. North Shore has controlled the tempo, the clock, and they lead at 7-0, 3rd and 1. Leota will take it himself. He's got a first down and some extra yards as well.
Quarterback ISO again. Follow La Rosa, go right up.
Roddy, it's almost automatic at this point, the way that their line and backfield have been so in sync.
Yeah, this is what happens when you return a lot of guys, and just the experience of getting all the way to a county championship and an LIC, all those extra practices, all those kids you bring up from JV, they get experience. And that's why good teams stay good, because you have kids that buy into the program, they practice longer, they practice harder, and this is what happens.
Nick Lavati pushes forward, picks up 5.
And there's the jet sweep. So they ran a couple of plays. They ran inside on 3rd and short. Now they run the jet sweep to the top. Again, he's going to follow the sniffer and his halfback. You're worried about the quarterback run, right? You think, oh, zone read coming up the middle of quarterback. But nope. There's LaRosa with a great block in the middle right there, clearing it out. And a nice 7-yard gain on first down.
On second down, LaRosa bumped, but still picks up a pair.
Yep.
So 3rd and short.
Sorry, John. So now they set you up with the jet sweep. So you're expecting them to go back outside, and they run a nice GT or counter or whatever you want to call it. They're coming back to the short side. So they're making Seaford guess, and that's what makes this offense so special. You don't know what they're going to do.
Well, we will find out in the second quarter. A run-dominated first quarter for the North Shore Vikings on the road. They lead it 7-0. We'll step aside when we come back. Second quarter coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland & Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Second quarter here at Seaford. It's North Shore controlling the first quarter as they lead at 7-0. Alongside Roddy McCoy, I'm John Perez. And Roddy, you're a head coach. You know there's a lot of multi-sport athletes. I'm not sure what the crossover is, though, from football to bowling. Usually you get football, lacrosse, baseball, basketball. Well, for Jason Donovan, he's an all-county bowler as he's in that huddle wearing 75 in green. But how about this? The highest game in state championship history, he bowled a 279. And there you see the pictures from his time up in Syracuse, leading Seaford to a 4th place finish. I'm not sure how bowling converts over, but how about the job of Donovan getting it done in the bowling alley, in the classroom, and obviously on the line?
Well, I don't know how it translates being a bowler to a football player, but I definitely know it's competition, right? And the more kids compete, the more they learn to win, and that's good for you as a coach.
Nick LaRosa gets the first carry in the second quarter, and he picks up a first down.
Just straight power football right there. Just follow your fullback, hand it off, and they're just blocking them up. Again, big drive for Seaford defense. They're going to need something to change this momentum. They're going to get a turnover, or they got to get a big stop here.
Would you say that North Shore's line bowled over the line? All right,
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
All right, and that'll retire my comedy career as another 1st and 10, this time from the Seaford 45. Low snap handled, LaRosa. The carry, and there's Donovan with the takedown.
Again, a little scissors play. Fake one way, come back the other. LaRosa gets the ball. Seaford stands him up for a short gain.
North Shore getting on the board, a 10-yard run by Nicholas Lavati, his 4th touchdown of the season. But what was most impressive about that first drive is that it took up 6 minutes and 21 seconds, which is something that if North Shore, they have the lead, they can certainly do that. And, you don't want to start nickel and diming here, but if North Shore can continue to control the tempo, this game might not be as long as many people have predicted.
We might be home by 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Here is Lavati. Flag on the play, picks up the first down, and then an additional flag afterwards.
I think we got a holding to the top of the screen. I didn't see if that was the tight end or the lineman. And then I'm assuming when the tackle when the tackle happened, I'm assuming that's going to be some sort of face mask on Seaford. But you know what happens when we assume. We'll see.
So there's the holding by Vinny Oliva, and that will push back North Shore.
And that's what Seaford needed, right? I talked about a turnover or a big stop. That's a big play. They got them pushed back here. Now the defense has got to respond and hold them. So here we go. They're going to go jet sweep up top. You can see the hold here by 24. Hands are outside. Anytime you're outside the tackles and your hands get outside, the refs see it, the flag is coming.
Ryan Freehand infamously gets the first flag of the night.
Now, sometimes what happens with high school football coaches, North Shore's getting 8-10 yards of play. You don't have to put the ball in the air here. Just run the ball. Make it 3rd and 10.
Well, this is 2nd and 18, and here's Lavati pushing forward. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So just what the doctor ordered. We'll get 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and you're on the Seaford 45, so more than likely than not, you're going to go for it on 4th down anyway. You're running the ball hard. Your kids are running hard. Look at 64 coming around, making a nice block here, sealing the edge. But that's what now it's 3rd and 10. If you get 5 yards here or 6 yards here, it's 4th and short, and you're going to go for it. I mean, why not? You're getting almost 8 yards a clip. You might as well. And again, the clock keeps on ticking against Seaford.
.2:15 and counting into this second quarter.
We got trips to the top up there.
First passing play for Leota, dumps it to the backfield. It's Ryan Free on the fullback. Gets positive yardage and a healthy gain.
That play just didn't look right? Looked like something went wrong. Maybe it was a new play they put in practice, or maybe it was just a slip up. Let's see what happened on the replay here. Yeah, I don't think that's the way the coaches drew that one up. But they got lucky. Again, it's 4th and short. Here we go.
Anthony Janes picking up on the miscommunication of the line for North Shore, forcing the rush pass, but that's just the way it's gone for North Shore in the first quarter. And first half. Even when there is a broken play, they still find the positive out of it. So it'll be 4th and 4 from the 37. Pitch it back to La Rosa. And he gets taken down. Just short of the line, Devin O'Donnell.
Great stop by the defense there. They tried to run a little zone toss play. Clemson makes this famous in college football. So he comes out, he tosses it to La Rosa, and La Rosa just doesn't get the blocking he's been getting all night. Seaford makes a big play. Now let's see if they can capitalize on this momentum.
Devin O'Donnell, the former nose guard, now a linebacker. Done a fantastic job this year on defense and makes his first big play of the night.
Seaford's got to establish himself, right? They went 3 and out. They tried to run a counter pass on 3rd and long, just not what they want to do. So they want to get a play that they feel comfortable with that's going to get them 3 or 4 yards here, get a little momentum going offensively, get the kids believing in what the game plan is, and hopefully they can tie this up on this drive for Seaford.
Costello will pitch it to Aiden Calvaca.
Nice run.
And he gets a first down. Well, Seaford only had one offensive drive in the first quarter. It was a 3 and out, and on the first play of the second quarter, they pick up 11 and another first down.
So Seaford goes to their double wing formation. They're just going to run a toss. You see the guard tackle pulling for them. 55 and I think that's 56. Good hard blocks, and Calvaca runs through a block and gets a first down. Great first down play for them.
That's Nerio Colon and Anthony Janes providing the way for Calvaca. Last week, 190 yards on 24 attempts. And Calvaca on back-to-back rushes, gets bumped at the line, and then taken down in the backfield. Big hit, Nick LaRosa.
Yeah, real big hit by LaRosa and his teammates. So on that play, they thought, hey, let's try it. We'll toss it. And then they ran a little inside reverse. But again, North Shore did a real nice job this time of following the blockers. So they ran reverse. They pulled their guard tackle. North Shore followed, and they made a big play.
Well, LaRosa's starting to make a name for himself in this contest. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 48 of Seaford.
Another new formation for Seaford.
Calvaca in motion. And a false start will push it back 5.
So they tried to run a little jet sweep there like North Shore. Unfortunately for them, they jumped. I didn't get to see who's jumped. And now, again, this is the position that Seaford does not want to be in. 2nd and long. They really don't want to throw the ball in 2nd and long. They hopefully can get, 5 to 8 yards and make it 3rd and manageable. But when an offense like this, when you're a ground and pound offense, you don't want to be in 2nd and 3rd and long.
Well, Seaford not afraid to throw it either, whereas it looks for North Shore 9 out of 10 times they're going to run it.
Yeah.
So we'll see Costello on 2nd and long. Calvaca the man in motion. They fake to him, and the give goes straight up the middle.
So that was just a halfback counter. If you look, you see the jet sweep, you think it's going to be jet sweep. They come back with the counter. So here we go. They fake the jet sweep. Everybody widens out. You're hoping the linebackers go. And there's the guard tackle pull, the GT pull. And Seaford gets it back to 3rd and 10.
Kevin Knox to pick up a 5.
Nice hard run. This is where the wind could play a factor for Seaford too. You might want to throw it, but does your quarterback have the arm to throw it against a strong wind? You never want the ball sitting up top and getting picked.
Well, Mike Corcoran says he's not afraid to have Costello air it out, and he wings it to the near side. Pass completed, TJ Harrington.
Nice, smart, safe play. Have the quarterback take a 3-step drop. We'll see it on the replay right here. Have the quarterback take a 3-step drop. The flanker does a quick little curl. Cornerback drives off the ball. Nice play. He got up the field too and got the first.
Harrington's 2nd year on the varsity squad. Another talented baseball player. He'll be playing at Oswego. Play for the Lakers after his Seaford career is done. Pickup of 11. It's 1st and 10. From the 41.
Jet sweep to the top.
Harrington. Harrington inside the 40. A pickup of 4.
Yeah, so last time they showed the jet sweep, they went off sides, they jumped, then they came back with the counter. So now they come back with the jet sweep. Again, much like North Shore, you want the defensive coordinator and the kids on the field to think outside, inside, inside, outside. Keep them guessing. And that's what Seaford's doing on this drive.
So on 2nd down, Costello under center.
There's the counter.
Kevin Knox. Stuffed in the middle.
Nice play by 64 on the defense. He took on the trapper. He got down on the ground, trapped the trapper, and that stuffed up the whole hole there.
That's Danny Stortuyadis, the transfer from St. Anthony's. And he's really solidified the line for North Shore. And a big reason why North Shore has only allowed 6 total points on the season. A 16-0 win against Malvern last week, and they blew the doors off of Locust Valley in week 1, a 41-6 convincing victory at home. 3rd and 5.
Oh, big hit.
Nowhere to go for Luis Canada. And they'll say he was down. La Rosa wanted the fumble call, but either way.
Yeah, that was a big hit. So they tried to get them on the toss. It looked wide open. Nice big hole there. They're pulling the guard lineman. And then 24 steps up, makes a nice big hit there. His teammates are there to rally and wrap him up. Putting Seaford at about 4th and 5. Do you go into the bag of tricks here, or do you go with a play you feel confident in? You know North Shore is going to play it tight. You might be able to spring one here.
And certainly at a field goal range for Harrington or Navin if they were to go that way. On 4th down, it's Costello. He'll fire it, and he throws an interception. Peter Leota back the other way. Jukes around Costello and gets tackled around the 20-yard line. Quarterback on quarterback crime. Leota picks up the INT, and North Shore goes right into the red zone.
So Seaford tries to do a quick little combo route. They did an out and a slant, and Leota just reads it, sits there, reads the quarterback's eyes, jumps the route, and makes a fantastic play here. And now North Shore, again, has the momentum back. It looked like Seaford took it from him. North Shore has been pounding the rock. Let's see if they come out and try to hit a quick one off the turnover, or if they're just going to run the ball down the field.
I mean, you want to talk about helping your own cause. As we got a timeout taken.
I think it's the 4-minute warning.
4-minute warning, right. So 4-minute warning, which is a free timeout, and for Peter Leota, setting himself up and the rest of this North Shore offense on the 20-yard line.
Here we go. They're giving you a formation like it's going to be a jet sweep, possibly a counter down here. Let's see.
And Leota whistle before the snap.
False start.
And this will push North Shore back.
Yeah, you were talking about earlier, how 2-sport, 3-sport athletes mean a lot. And in football, especially in Conference 3, Conference 4, when you have guys that play both ways and they're a quarterback and a quarterback and a cornerback, they're a smart player. They understand the game. So he understood that route concept. He sat there and jumped. He's having a great game as a quarterback as well. And that's why it's so important that your better players play both sides of the ball, because it gives you an advantage.
So 1st and 15 from the 25.
Same formation as they had when they full started.
Lavati, the man in motion, gets the carry, sweeps it towards the left side, gets back to his original first down, and more. He'll take it to the house. A 25-yard TD run, his second touchdown of the game, his 5th TD of the year, as Nick Lavati puts North Shore up 13-0 on the road.
All right, so I'm pretty sure I said before, linemen don't lie, but let's see what they do here. We don't have the replay. But if you look back, it looked like the GT tackle, the guard and the tackle on the left-hand side pulled to the right. The quarterback read the play and decided to give it on a jet sweep. So on that play, which is a great design by North Shore, the lineman did lie. Running back gets outside, and it's a touchdown for North Shore.
Michael Fleming to kick the extra point. And he drills it.
That's just a great concept play. That's a play that, you tell your kids all week, follow your lineman, follow your lineman. Linemen don't lie. And they run that play, and there's nothing you could do as a coach. The kids are listening to what you're doing. You just got to hope the guys on the outside stay home and make the play on the jet sweep.
Nick Lavati getting it done on the road. He's got 2 TDs as North Shore leads it 14-0 on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland & Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
A 14-0 lead for North Shore on the road. Alongside Roddy McCoy, I'm John Perez. And Roddy, an embarrassment of riches for North Shore.
We were just talking about during the break, you don't know who to stop. Usually in high school football, you want to stop one guy. Maybe a team has 2. But North Shore has a plethora of different athletes that can take the ball and they can go to the house on any given time.
And so far for North Shore, it's been Nick Lavati. He's got a pair of touchdowns. As now you see the wind start to pick up, Michael Fleming needs to make the adjustments and certainly not going to rush, but wants to make sure that the ball stays on the pin. And a line drive kick. It's Kyle Britton. Britton with a couple of blocks towards midfield as he gets taken down at the 45. A good pickup and a good start for Britton and the Vikings.
Great kick return here. They cross-block everything up. So as you see the replay, you'll see the right side crossing to the left, left to the right, and that opens up the seam to the middle. He makes a nice strong run, gets Seaford going. They're at midfield already.
Of course, the Britons, no stranger to the Seaford program. His older brother, Jake, used to play for the Vikings. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the Vikings 45. Sean Costello coming off the interception, pitches it back. It's Calvaca. As Calvaca will pick up a pair and taken down by Athanasios Alphogiannis.
So Seaford went to their power eye, their traditional power eye set, and they ran a little option play up there, trying to get North Shore to crash in. North Shore did a fantastic job of doing their responsibility, staying outside and making a good tackle.
Seaford won the opening toss, deferred, and North Shore took it right down the field and scored. So good opportunity for Seaford to get on the board, and then they'll get the ball back to start the second half as Calvaca pummels ahead, and he's got a first down.
Great push by the offensive line there. Seaford just lined up, went power eye, and came through with a blast. So you'll see on the replay, watch their offensive line get really good push here. Power back and full back kick out there, guys. And a nice 8 to 10 yard run by the run back.
Under 3 minutes in the second quarter.
Oh,
Gobbled up. Calvaca taken down. It's Pat Godfrey.
you might want to make sure you block that guy. What a nice play.
Pat Godfrey, a 3-year starter, anchor on the offensive side, but he can handle it all on the defensive side.
Yeah, they just let him go. He didn't get blocked, and he made a good play. Kind of easy to make tackles when you're not getting blocked.
Second and 12 for Seaford. Play action. Costello rolling out, firing, and the pass is tipped away by Ryan Froome. As the pass was intended for Jake Quinn, the junior.
Nice play by Ryan there. Sat on his man, undercut the route, got his hands on it, knocked it down. Look at a big old 52 with that big club on. Talk about a kid that wants to play football. Look at that. He's got his old school cowboy collar, neck brace. He's got a big club on. He's ready to rock and roll.
That's Michael Grinelli, the senior. He's coming off of ACL surgery.
Oh, man.
In the offseason, worked his tail off to get back into shape, but then fractured his wrist in week 1. Didn't play last week, and now he's back into the lineup. And boy, is Dan Agavino happy that he's there. But you're right, being put together by staples and tape and Tuco cement.
But I'll tell you, that speaks volumes about that kid's character, his work ethic, and how much he loves the game. It also speaks volumes about the program that North Shore is building, that tradition that they're starting to build over there where kids want to play. You know, sometimes kids get hurt and they're not in too big of a rush to get back. This kid has ACL surgery, breaks his hand, he's got everything going on, and he's coming back in a week to play. Credit to him. Hope he has a good season and he stays healthy.
Going to be one of the fun players to watch in Conference 4. Seaford takes a timeout, and this is what we have on deck on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Well, Roddy, we're happy to have you here, but in a couple of weeks, Beth Page at Plain Edge, of course, Lindenhurst, Northport, MacArthur, Southside, Freeport, Farmingdale, East Rockaway, and Cold Spring Harbor. And a little scouting report on Plain Edge, or you don't look past 1 week at a time?
Yeah, you know, Plain Edge has built a fantastic program over the years. Rob Shaver and his coaching staff have done an awesome job over there. They're the team to beat, and until somebody knocks them off, they're going to keep on going.
You know, you can take the coach off the field, but just throw the cliches out there. 3rd and 11. Calvaca.
Nice run.
And Calvaca with a gain of 6.
Again, Seaford now with a good 6-7 yards on that play brings it to 4th and manageable for them. Again, you know, you have no momentum. There's 1:30 left. Maybe you run down the clock here, call a timeout. I would take a shot because North Shore is just, you know, dominating this game, and you got to make something happen. I know you want to get the first down. You don't want North Shore back with the ball, but I think North Shore is going to jump every short route here. You might be able to get a shot and get a touchdown, go in at halftime down a touchdown instead of 2. See what Coach Corcoran has up his sleeve here.
Seaford back to the line. Costello. Play action.
Great defense
Keeps it
there.
himself. And brought down. That was Danny Sortiadis.
Great play by North Shore. They stayed outside. They did their responsibilities. Let's see if my boy 52 out here. He looks like he got in the mix. He's blitzing to the outside. He gets there. Team rallies. Big 64 makes a nice play. It was worth a shot. I thought Seaford had to do something a little different there. They came out with the naked boot on that side, hoping that North Shore would bite on everything. Unfortunately for them, it didn't work. Now it's, can we stop them? Can we not let them score before the half?
And for North Shore, you'd have to imagine they're playing with house money right now.
Listen, I believe they still have their 3 timeouts. Let's run the ball 2 or 3 times, then we can throw. Let's see what we get first. And when you're getting 8 to 10 yards on every single run play, let's do it. You know, do you come with the jet sweep? Do you come with the counter? Let's see what they do. Why not go back to the play that they just scored the touchdown on?
47 seconds left in the half. Leota will keep it himself. And Agavino, a quick timeout.
So they came back. They set up the jet sweep with the touchdown last time, and now they run the quarterback up the middle, hoping that Seaford jumps outside. And again, this is okay. It's 2nd and 3. Or excuse me, they got 3 yards there, so it's 2nd and 7. You still can decide here with 2 timeouts, what do we want to do? Do we want to throw the ball? Do we want to try to run and get in better position to make decisions to pass the ball?
Well, and we've only seen 1 pass attempt, and that looked like on a broken play to Ryan Freeland, who still picked up 8.
Right.
So you'd certainly have your options at that, and I don't want to say you're too predictable, but it looks as if Seaford is expecting a run at any juncture of the game. So you're right. Maybe they have Leota air it out, or, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Again, I'm assuming Coach Corcoran and his staff right now, I believe Coach Selhorn is the defensive coordinator over here talking to Coach Corcoran. You got to play the pass because you can't let anything over your head. And that's why I said run the ball again. You might break it for 15, 20 yards, and their cornerbacks are playing off, and now you have a chance to decide what you want to do. So you don't have to force it. The worst thing for North Shore is to put the ball in the air, Seaford picks it, and now they have the ball. So run the ball one more time, see what you get, then come out with your passing offense. Sometimes as coaches, we overthink. Keep it simple. Give it to your best players. Running the ball's working. Keep going.
2nd down and 8 from the 38. It's 36. La Rosa. Pickup of a pair. Another timeout taken by the Vikings.
Which Vikings?
That would be North Shore. You're right. Thank you.
Oh, very confused.
Check.
See, now North Shore has the decision, okay? It's 3rd and 5. Right? If they want to air it out here, they can air it out and take a shot, and they punt the ball, and Seaford has to go 80 yards to score. Or do you run it again? Get the first down, maybe call a quick little, snap the ball, ground the ball real quick, and then you come back. So they're still in the driver's seat here. They can decide what they want to do. Again, I don't like taking a lot of chances here. You're getting a lot of yards running. Run the ball, get a first down, and then when you have to throw it on the last play, you do it that way.
The sun still hasn't gone down, but the wind has picked up dramatically. I don't think that's going to change any game plan for North Shore, however. We knew that this is what North Shore can do. We knew that they can ground and pound, play the smash mouth football. That's exactly what Agavino said earlier in the week, and they've done so. And like we mentioned, the amount of weapons that they have in the backfield, it's hard not to watch the first 24 minutes of this game and not think that they're the proverbial favorites in Conference 4.
Yeah, they have an excellent team. I really like the way that their line blocks. They fire out. They're pushing Seaford around a whole bunch. And they have athletes. And, hey, in high school football, if you have athletes and you give the athletes the ball in space, good things will happen. And that's what North Shore's been doing all night.
They're down at 5 from the 41. Leota, the QB keeper. Pickup of a yard.
Now North Shore should just let the clock run down. I think Seaford's calling a timeout here.
That's exactly what's happening. As up the field, Jim O'Brien looked at Agavino and said, "Are you going to take a timeout?" He said no, looked back down here, and saw that Seaford will take a timeout, and we will as well. You're watching Nassau Football Conference 4 on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland and Cohen.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Back here at Seaford High School, it's the visiting Vikings leading the home Vikings 14-0 behind a pair of touchdowns by Nick Lavati. One from 10 yards out, another from 25 yards out. With 19 seconds to go, we'll get a whistle and we'll see if there is a false start confirmation.
So North Shore came out with their offense on 4th and 4, and it looked like their left tackle moved. Oh, that left tackle sprung up there. I don't know if that was a trick play or they got away with it. But if we can get that replay, that left tackle looked up or looked over, and the defensive tackle for Seaford jumped on that. So I don't know if North Shore, if that was a nice little play that they have in their playbook and set that up, or they just got lucky and Seaford jumped and the refs didn't see it.
Yeah, Anthony Janes crossing the line. And you'd have to imagine that that was the play for North Shore, of trying to get Seaford offside. If not, you run it, you get the first down, great. You wipe out the clock. If not,
hey, that's the good thing about being a coach. When you ask me that, I say, yeah, we planned that. We did that all week, and in reality, we just got lucky. See, I think North Shore should take a shot here. Seaford's not too deep. Fake a little run and then lift it over the top. Here it comes.
Leota scrambles towards the line of scrimmage, fires far side, and a nice haul by Peter Lieno, filling in for the injured Ricky Cook. Agavino says he's the most improved player on the roster, and he picks up 9, and it'll be 2nd and short.
Lavati did a good job. He rolled out to his left. He squared his shoulders. Always hard as a right-handed quarterback to roll to your left, but he squared his shoulders. He was a threat to run. Seaford jumped up, and he hit his receiver right on the sticks. Again, it looks like there's 12 seconds left, and I believe North Shore still has one timeout.
That they do. North Shore has a timeout remaining.
And as you can see, Seaford now has dropped people back. So maybe you get a little run here, call a quick timeout. Nope, they're going to pass it.
Leota floats it, and it is hauled in. Let's see if he stood in bounds, and they'll say incomplete.
Ooh, almost a great catch there. So they ran a wheel here. So if you watch, they have trips to the top side, a bunch trip set. And they're going to run crossing routes, and 24 comes out of the backfield, and there he goes on a wheel. They're hoping Seaford goes man-to-man and leaves him alone. But number 11 there for Seaford made a fantastic play. He passed off the route, sat in his zone, and made a good play to break up that pass.
Devin O'Donnell doing a fantastic job on Ryan Freund. And the last timeout taken by North Shore. As it'll be 3rd and short. 5 seconds left. You want to make sure you get the right play, and I'd imagine I'll ask you to put your coach's hat on because that's the only hats that you have.
Correct.
I'm assuming you're airing it towards the end zone.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Agavino isn't too happy about taking this time out. It's going to be the last play anyway, so maybe he was hoping to, get something and be able to throw it. But this is going to be a long Herculean throw here. So what you're doing to your kids right here is just saying, hey, guys, give your quarterback some time. Remind him to throw the ball up in the air, get your guys down in the field as fast as they can, and then, put it up and hopefully someone can jump up and make a play. You also, as scary as this sounds too, as a coach, now you can see Danny coming over to talk to his team. You're telling your lineman and your quarterback, hey, when the ball's up in the air, they might pick it and return it. Let's make sure you guys are watching the ball and we tackle if they catch it. And that's the crazy world of coaching. You're telling kids, let's score a touchdown. But, by the way, if they intercept it, we got to be ready to stop it.
Right. James Toner comes on.
Looks like he's a little bit taller than their other receivers.
Good story on Toner. We'll tell it in the second half. Here's Leota. Gets a first down. Scrambling. He's not going to get it, and that will do it for the first half. as Seaford comes up with the stop, but it's North Shore with a 14-0 lead on the road. The undefeated Vikings sticking it to the Seaford Vikings by a 14-0 score, as Seaford will get the ball when we return. And second half coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network, powered by Orland and Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
Back here at halftime, North Shore with a 14-0 lead over Seaford, and second half coming up next. But before we get there, our thoughts and prayers go out to Beth Page, high school athletic trainer Joe Colleen, and his family. Joe, unfortunately, passing away last week at the age of 60. He's been at Bethpage since 1997, and Roddy, I know that you obviously being at Bethpage all those times, it's a tough loss. We had the opportunity to broadcast the game last year. A fantastic job by Julianne Inglaterra and the rest of the softball team and the athletic program, honoring Joe and saying Joe's fight is our fight, and I can only imagine how wonderful of a person he was just by meeting him. And I only met him for about 20 seconds of that whole day. You got to know him for years. Our condolences to you and the rest of the Bethpage family.
Yeah, Joe was just a special person. For 25 years, I had the privilege and honor of getting to know him as not only a trainer, when in his early days he was Joe the trainer, but Joe is just everything that's good with the world and life. He cared about kids, he cared about people, he cared about whether the guy was a starter or whether the guy was, a bench guy, whether it was a girls' sport, boys' sport, it didn't matter. He gave every kid the attention they deserved. He was a special, special man. He touched the kids' lives. He touched coaches' lives, administrators' lives. Just a real loss. And it's a real shame that sometimes in life the really good people die way too early. So thoughts and prayers are to him and his family and friends. And he will be missed at Bethpage because he helped establish just a great place to work and to live and to coach. And he'll be sorely missed.
Our condolences once again to his wife, Janet, Will, Carolyn as well, and just a tough loss for the Long Island community, and Joe Colleen will be missed. Second half coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland & Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out to talk it. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCASTs.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. Hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring. Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCASTs.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area sports leader. We offer an array of services for any team, coach, player, athletic director, and parent. From game film to live streaming, we are available to cover your event anytime, any place. Looking for an enhanced experience? How about a professional broadcast with multiple camera angles, announcers, graphics, and instant replay? Need a highlight reel? We produce individual highlights for college recruiting and team highlight videos for end-of-season banquets. And when it comes to social media, nobody has you covered better than us. hype videos, sideline highlights. We can tailor custom videos to make your team stand out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Why waste your time dealing with anyone else? When it comes to sports video, Varsity Media stands alone. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
One half in the books, one half to go. Third quarter set to begin with North Shore leading Seaford 14-0 on the road. Alongside Roddy McCoy, I'm John Perez. Thank you so much for joining us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. If you like what you see here, well, we've got a full plate ahead of time, especially to begin the month of October. Lindenhurst at Northport, MacArthur at Southside, Freeport, who is losing right now 14-8. to Massapequa. But for all of you that are watching at home, you're watching at home, so you know that that game is final. So good win by Massapequa, and we could redo this. Good win by Freeport. So there you go. I covered both sides and hedged. Bethpage against Plain Edge, East Rockaway, and Cold Spring Harbor. Good docket, and that's not even counting the CHSFL next week. 2 weeks from now. We'll have Cardinal Spellman. We'll have St. Francis Prep. That's next week. Chaminade will host Cardinal Hayes. Good docket on hand. Holy Trinity is in there. Holy Trinity, a big win in the Battle of the Bridge at Rutgers. There's only 3 important things in life: God, country, Rutgers football.
I was going to say, man, you're calling all these games. You're at work. You're like Kirk Herbstreit here.
I'm trying.
Unbelievable. We got to get you signed to a big-time deal, my friend.
You be my agent.
No problem.
Get 15%, so it's on you. Elevate that. Speaking of elevation, how about Michael Fleming, the soccer player, with a booming kick all the way back, sending Kyle Britton still on his feet to the 25, and he gets wrestled down at the 27-yard line.
Nice return by Kyle there. He didn't get much help blocking, but he made a whole bunch of guys miss. Brought the ball up to the 25-yard line. Big drive to start the second half for Seaford. Again, it's 14-0, but it could easily be a lot more. North Shore is dominating this game. It's time for Seaford to really establish this run game and get some points on the board.
And if you're Mike Corcoran, what do you think he said to his team in the locker room?
I'm sure we can't repeat what Mike's going to say. I had the honor of working with Mike for a year at Bethpage. He's a fantastic coach. He knows the game of football. I was a little upset that he left the Bethpage to come back to Seaford, but it was a good decision on his part. He's just angry. He's angry at the kids, and he's trying to motivate them, and he's got to get them to play some better football this half.
Sean Costello, a couple of passes, but mostly a run-heavy first half.
And as you see there, a lot of Seaford offensive linemen down on the ground. That's not what you want your offensive linemen to do. The North Shore D-line is really pushing on the offensive line for Seaford. Really impressed with the North Shore D-line. They're really controlling the line of scrimmage. And most of those kids are playing offense as well, and that's why this game is 14-0, and North Shore has control of the game.
2 rushing touchdowns by Nick Lavati. He's got 5 TDs on the season, one from 10 yards out in the first quarter and another from 25 yards out. As Costello, the QB keeper, pushes past the 30, the 35, and gets wrestled down at the 40. Big pickup on a first down. Sean Costello.
Nice run by Sean here. So let's see. It looks like maybe a little zone read. Yep, little zone read with an option there. Quarterback keeps it. Really nice block here by the tight end who collapses that whole side. Is that number 11 there? Collapsed the whole side of the field down for the quarterback to run. Really nice job by 11.
Devin O'Donnell doing a fantastic job. Here's Aiden Calvaca, one of our impact players for the game, stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Come back with a little power play. So they're going to pull the left guard, looking to, I don't know if he was leading up or kicking out there. Again, the North Shore defense steps up and makes the play.
First year on the varsity squad for Calvaca. He dominated JV, as you can imagine. He's dominating at the varsity level this year. Had 190 yards and 2 TD runs last week in the 26-0 win on the road against Valley Stream South. Costello on second down. Calls his own number. And picks up 3. Will move up to the 45.
So that's the same exact play they ran, but instead of running it with the running back, they do it with the quarterback. So this is just Q power. Again, guard's going to pull out. They fake the little scissors play, so you think it might be the option again, and he comes back on the other side. Third and manageable for Seaford here.
North Shore has responded when they've been called upon, including an interception by then DB, but of course their QB, Peter Leota.
Good play by 7 here, setting the edge.
Harrington.
Really nice job.
Nowhere to go, Garrett Gates. Coaching staff calls him a specimen, and the weight that he's put on over the offseason.
So this is really good. He sees the jet sweep coming. You could watch. He boxes it up. He's reading the play, and that runner for Seaford is not getting outside of him. He's going to try to turn him in, and then the cavalry comes and finishes him off.
James Toner in there as well, and you want to talk about the body transformation for James Toner. Put on about 20 pounds of muscle and grew 4 inches over the summer. Timmy Navin boots it away on 4th down, and it'll sail out of bounds, and we'll see where they spot it.
I did that too, but that was when I got to college, and I didn't need to keep that weight on.
I also had the freshman 15. But, you know, it's interesting, obviously, with kids growing up and getting older and forming into their adult bodies, that over the summer they can grow 4 or 5 inches. And actually, it was a practice that Dan Agavino was watching in training camp. And, of course, one of his assistant coaches and the head coach of the JV squad, PJ Como, tapped him on the shoulder and said, yeah, that's James Toner. And they both looked at each other and said, are you serious? And the transformation's been incredible for Toner. LaRosa goes right back to the line.
Yeah, to get back to your point, John, every kid grows differently. You're going to have some kids, you know, that in 7th and 8th grade are already shaving and they're 5'8" and they're 160 pounds. And then you have a little kid that is a pretty good athlete, but, you know, he's 5 foot and he weighs about 96 pounds. And by the time they're juniors and seniors, that kid that, you know, was big in junior high is the same exact size. And that little tiny kid is all of a sudden 6 foot, 6'1", and about $180. You know, everybody grows differently, and, you know, you just got to play to your strengths.
You'd have to imagine by playing to their strengths, it'll be a draw play in some fashion, and it's Leota galloping ahead. Peter Leota, just shy of a first down, but a pickup of 9.
So North Shore goes to their bunch set. So tight bunch to the top of the screen. You're anticipating sweep that way. Let's see if they pull a lineman here, but this is just a quarterback. Yep. There's the kick out. There's the lead up. So just a Q counter. Really nice play. Like I said, that's what makes North Shore so difficult. You don't know what they're going to run. And if your kids are not following their keys, they will exploit it.
This will be 3rd and short for the North Shore Vikings.
So they got trips over here to the wide side of the field.
But it's LaRosa, the keeper. Who else? Nick LaRosa towing the line. Not sure
close.
if he got it. Yeah. See if they call for a measurement, or let's see it with the naked eye, and they'll give him the first down.
So it looks like this is just zone read to the wide side. He gives it on this one, and LaRosa just battles for that first down. That's what that kid does, man.
He's been the leader on offense, but not your stereotypical rah-rah guy, but gets intense during games, and Agavino said that the rest of the team just feeds off of his energy.
Hey, this he's one of their better players on offense, correct? And if you look at his stats tonight, he probably doesn't have a lot, but he's doing a lot of blocking, and everybody's worried about him. There's his block to the top.
There's someone who does a lot, as Nick Lavati, probably averaging around 5 yards a carry, cuts down the distance. It'll be 2nd and 5 near midfield.
Yeah, so last time they ran the tight bunch and they came inside with the counter. This time they go outside. Really nice run by Lavati.
Lottie already with 2 touchdowns today and 5 on the year. As North Shore, Clark, and West Hempstead each winning their first 2 games of the year. And then you just get a pile up for second place. Seaford, East Rockaway, Island Trees, Locust Valley, Malvern, Mineola, Cold Spring Harbor, Valley Stream South, all 1-1.
Season's early. Everybody will separate themselves.
Leota pushing the pile. And a pickup of 3. Will make it 3rd and short.
Just a little quarterback run here. It looked like a little wedge type of play. Quarterback's just going to get it and run straight ahead, follow his lineman, get a couple of yards. So it puts North Shore in a really nice position here. This is 3rd and short. So this is a time where you might want to take a shot, see if Seaford's guessing and, blitzing everything in, or you might want to jump to the outside here because Seaford might try to take the inside away. The potential for a big play here for North Shore if they want to take it. Again, because I know me, I'm going for this on 4th down. So I might be taking a shot here, try to get to the outside, see if I can hit something big.
Vadi goes in motion. They fake it that way. Leota's got another first down.
So they faked the jet. He kept it. Again, I'm not sure if they're reading it or not. Let's see if they pull a lineman here on the replay. They're going to fake the jet sweep here. Here comes the guard pulling. They seal everything down. And this is just a quarterback wrap for the first down. Nice play.
I mean, it's basically automatic at this point for whoever's running the ball.
And that's what makes them so dangerous. Now they're going to come back. Do they do jet again? There's the counter.
La Rosa pushing ahead. A huge pickup of 7 for La Rosa.
And again, you got this guy going. You got everybody else going. If you got this guy going, it's lights out at the reptile house.
Not to say that we're there yet, especially with the efficiency of North Shore running, but another added weapon that they have is Michael Fleming. And he's a guy, like we mentioned, a converted soccer player that if you do start to get close to the red zone and it's 4th and distance, Agavino's not afraid to pull the trigger and have him boot one away. And I'd imagine he'd be more inclined to do so up 2 scores. But here's Leota on the fake. Pocket collapses. And Seaford gobbles him up. It's TJ Harrington.
Yeah, so they came back with the quarterback. It looked like quarterback counter down to the bottom of the screen here. And they didn't block it as well as they have been. The quarterback had to bounce it out, and Seaford was waiting for him there. Big down. I believe it's 3rd and short.
Yep, 3rd and 2 from the 37.
Again, it's either do we get the first down and hammer it, or do we take a shot because we know we're going for it on 4th down. Great position for an offensive coordinator to be in here. Either way, you really can't go wrong.
We'll see how they roll it out. Lavati goes in motion, but they give to La Rosa.
Oh, nice play. Good hard run, nice tackle.
Puts his head down, gets his lunch pail, picks up another first down, moves the chains.
And here it is again. So, again, Seaford's thinking jet sweep to the top. So they're playing. You can see the linebackers moving, and then they come back with the counter to La Rosa. He bounced it outside. He might have been able to get a bunch of more yards if he followed 24 up the hole, but he lowered his head. He got the 2 yards he needed, and he set. And here we go again. North Shore's on a long drive, taking the clock down, possession of the game, possession of the ball, just where they want to be.
Under 4 minutes. And knocking on the door of the red zone.
Here's the tight bunch set. Q counter.
Leota keeps it himself. And a pickup of a couple.
Nice play there. So again, they're going with the bunch, pulling the lineman. Quarterback's going to fake it, and he's going to come back inside and follow his blocks. And if you look, the Seaford defense, when you're trying to teach them to play North Shore's going to give you a whole bunch of different formations, but in reality, they're running the same 3, 4, 5 plays. It's just, can you be disciplined? It's kind of like playing Navy, right? You have to be disciplined on every single play and do your job. Because that one time you don't, North Shore's going to break one. Luckily for Seaford, they haven't broken too many long runs, but unfortunately for Seaford, they're possessing the ball and getting 5 to 8 yards a pop.
It's like they're suffocating them.
Yeah.
Leota
Nice block by 62.
marching ahead. And he gets taken down by Justin Jaskolski, but you mentioned Pat Godfrey, too, doing a good job on the offensive line for North Shore.
Yeah, he pulled around. His fellow linemate kicked out. He led up, and he got a pancake block on that one. He took that linebacker, drove him to the ground. That was a really nice play by him.
So 3rd and 5, knocking on field goal range, but you'd have to imagine with the way the offense is going, we're in 4-down territory. But Agavino, like we mentioned, has a few tricks up his sleeve, and we'll see what he goes to on 3rd and 5. North Shore leading by a couple of scores, rolling out. It's Leota firing towards the end zone, intercepted! It's Louis Canada, and a big takeaway for the Vikings.
Great play by Canada. They tried to hit him with a double move on the bootleg pass. Here we'll see. 22 is going to go with the double move. He's going to go with the post corner, and Lou just sits on the outside route. Ball goes up, and he gets it. Really nice play.
Louis Canada started the year on the bench, played well in week 1. That moved him to a starting spot and making the biggest play on defense tonight for Seaford.
Real good play. Again, North Shore still with a 14-0 lead, but can Seaford capitalize here and do something offensively?
Well, and that's going to be the thing for Seaford moving forward. They've got a minute 31 left in this quarter. You've got an entire fourth quarter, but of course, you've got to score, and you've got to not only stop North Shore, you can't let them wipe off 6 minutes off the clock.
Correct. And this is what's so difficult about being a smash-mouth football team. You want to run, but now you're down 14. You need the momentum. Now you got to put your kids in position where hopefully you can complete a short pass or a little trick play or something, and kids can break it and make plays. Just keep on giving it to your best players. Hopefully they can make something happen.
94 seconds left in the third quarter, and it's Calvaca. And wrestled down by Athanasios Alafagianis.
Yeah, parents and people that follow college football and the NFL will be like, oh, they should have 4 wide. They should be throwing the ball. When you're a high school team and you have an identity, you have to stick to that identity. It's not as easy as people think to get kids to do all these different things. You got to be you.
Well, and as you know, it's easier to coach from the stands.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Speaking of which, Calvaca.
Ooh, almost a late hit right there, piling on there.
He's been making it look easy. A huge pickup as he pushes past the 35.
So they go jet motion here, and they run a little toss play. Really nice job of sealing again. Tight end seals that hole outside. Really nice job, nice run. Again, they're giving it to their best player and saying, hey, let's break something. Let's get something going here.
Clock starting to tick away, and a timeout taken. And I'm not sure Mike Corcoran wanted to take that.
No, somebody's getting an earful there. I don't know if someone forgot to go in or something's going on, but they're not happy about that. And that could come back to cost them here, right? Taking a timeout like that with, 30 seconds left in the third quarter instead of having it for the fourth. And sometimes I know as a coach, you might have had a little trick play here, a little pass, a little double pass, toss pass, something like that, and the wrong kid was in, and you called for it, and the kid forgot to go in or something there. Seaford's moving the ball, though. That's the most important thing. They got a first down. They're getting it out of the end zone. They got to keep going. Keep on giving it to Calvaca. Let him show why he's such a good player and ride his tails.
So Seaford will go back to the line. 1st and 10 from the 37. 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Sean Costello, 3rd year on the varsity squad, 1st year as the week 1 starter. Takes it himself. Loses the football. And it's recovered. Peter Leota with the first touch. And it's another takeaway for Leota. He's been doing it all tonight.
Yeah, nice play. It looks like Seaford ran with an option here. He's running. It looks pretty good. I don't know if he just bobbled it It looks like number 7 punched the ball out there. He was holding it a little bit loose. Number 7 got his hand in there for the tackle, punched it out, and North Shore capitalizes.
Garrett Gates, the specimen, drawing it free. And North Shore will take over with a half a minute to play in the third.
Now, does the rest of North Shore's team have nicknames like I mean, that's a great nickname. Like if I was walking the high school hallways and my nickname was the specimen, I'd be pretty happy.
I'd have to imagine so, especially Grinelli. I mean, you'd have to call him the Terminator, right?
Oh, you think so?
He's got the brace on. He's got the mitt on his hand.
He plays hard. He's super aggressive. North Shore subbing in and out. Now North Shore has to burn a timeout.
Yes, I don't think either coach wanted to use their timeout in the third quarter.
Nope.
But we'll step aside as well. 30 seconds left to play in the third quarter. You're watching North Shore and Seaford on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland & Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
.30 seconds left to play in the third quarter after North Shore calls a timeout. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. As Peter Leota, the QB keeper. And that should probably do it for the third quarter.
We got a player down. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, that's Anthony Janes. And they'll take a timeout on the field. Janes, one of those hard-nosed players that has just been a brute force this year on defense for Seaford. So while Janes gets attended to, looking forward on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You can watch all these games on YouTube/Varsity Media. A good battle. Lindenhurst and Northport, MacArthur, Southside, Freeport, Farmingdale, Bethpage, and Plain Edge, East Rockaway, taking on Cold Spring Harbor. A couple of Saturday night games in there, Friday night lights as well. And of course, if you're a fan of the CHSFL, that's on deck as well. Be sure to follow on social media at Varsity Media.
I'll tell you, that Southside team, we played them last year over at Bethpage, and they have a good young nucleus of kids. They're coached real well. Them going back up to conference too, they're gonna upset some people.
Had one of the more thrilling Varsity Media games last year too, winning it in overtime. Well, it looks like we'll go to the fourth quarter. The players put the 4 fingers up, and we will put the break sign up as well. Fourth quarter coming up next.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier.
Peter Leota starts the fourth quarter, and a pickup of 5 will lead to third and short as North Shore leads Seaford on the Varsity Media Sports Network, presented by Orland & Cohen. And Peter Leota today, you can make the case, Roddy, that he could be the player of the game. Obviously, Nick Lavati with a couple of touchdowns, the only 2 touchdowns in this contest, but Leota has a fumble recovery and an interception, and he's managing the offense very well.
Yeah, he certainly could be the player of the game. Personally, I love the way North Shore's offensive and defensive line playing. So I know if you're looking for one guy, sure, he deserves it. He's playing great, but the big guys up front are dominating in the trenches.
Yeah, and how about Jack Mulsky, too? A guy that was called up as a sophomore, didn't play as much, starting this year, and he's controlling the line. As Leota,
Ooh, big hit.
Spinorama and a big hit, you're right.
I think that was number 1. I think that was Calvaca. Oh, no.
Let's see, they're picking him up, and that's Donovan.
Okay, good. He's gotten up. Good to see him bounce up. That was a big hit by Calvaca. Leota was spinning around trying to fight for extra yards, and Calvaca cleaned him up. Good, clean hit. That's what football's all about. Good to see that he bounces up and he's back in the huddle.
This will lead to 4th and short, as North Shore, the entire time, has been a team that has gone for it on 4th down. And Leota will take it himself, burrowing ahead, and he'll move the chains.
Good job. Just follows LaRosa right up, just a quarterback ISO as they ran earlier in the game. You'll see on the replay, LaRosa's just going to run through with the sniffer. They kick everything out. Another 1st down, and this is another 2 to 3 minutes that North Shore is going to be able to take off the clock here.
So for those of the watching at home might not be too familiar with the football jargon, who's the sniffer? What does the sniffer do?
So the sniffer is usually he's sniffing out everything. So he's like a wingback in some cases. So you'll see him. He's kind of like the fullback in their offense. And usually he's a puller. He's a good blocker. He's a very good team player that does not get recognized. So in this case, is that 62 up there?
Yes, it's Pat Godfrey. And
so Pat Godfrey, he looks like a wing to most people, but he's going to be a sniffer. And he's either going to lead you or pull and run the counters and lead block either way. So he's either going to be the strong guy blocking or he's going to come around and pull. In their offense, he's a very important part and a guy that most people, wouldn't even notice. But I'll tell you what, the coaches notice him and they'll appreciate his effort.
So North Shore taking a timeout, and we mentioned the transformation of James Toner. Well, the JV head coach, PJ Como, of course, no stranger to the program, leading the Vikings when he was a 3-sport athlete in high school, played at Fordham, graduated in 2010, and now leading the JV squad. And you want to talk about depth at North Shore. And just, I guess, a guy that has earned every opportunity in other sports. It's good to have a player and now a coach like PJ Como out there.
Not only that, but he knows the system, right? So he plays for you. He goes to college. He has a great career, and now he's come back and he's running the JV team, and he knows the system inside and out. So the program's in good hands with the staff.
On 1st and 10, LaRosa. Charge is up ahead. And a pickup of 9.
Yeah, ground and pound. Looks like they're coming back in the same formation. Gates and Godfrey are now in the backfield with LaRosa. This is just, we're lining up and we're coming downhill. This is going to be stop LaRosa.
And they will not, as they'll move the chains. LaRosa, another 1st down.
I'll tell you, the only thing North Shore is doing that you might question is they're getting up to the line right away and snapping it. There's no reason. You have total control of the game. Take the game clock down as long as you want. Seaford has not stopped you.
They go to the far side and to the house. It's Garrett Gates. Off the quick restart, Garrett Gates scores his 1st touchdown of the contest and of the season as North Shore goes up 20-0 in the 4th.
So now they're just running power play. Just a lead through. LaRosa with a great block. He actually took on 2 blockers, LaRosa. He took the linebacker and the safety on, and Gates hits the hole, bounces it outside, and takes one to the house. Great block by LaRosa.
Fleming to kick the extra point. As North Shore only had 10 players on the field.
Someone's going to get yelled at when they get back to the sideline.
Fleming 2 for 2 thus far. And blackjack for Michael Fleming. He's a perfect 3 for 3. And North Shore leads it 21-0 on the road as Seaford looks to respond on the Varsity Media Sports Network powered by Orland & Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
North Shore has come to Seaford, and they have dominated to the tune of a 21-0 lead on the road, and a flag before the start of kickoff.
What's a flag for?
And it looks like it's going to be against the Seaford bench. I'm not sure exactly who was drawing at the officials.
Well, I know Coach Corcoran. I know he's not happy. He's pacing a little bit down there. He's not happy about something. I'm sure he's letting the refs have it.
Well, as a coach too, Roddy, for Seaford, coaching obviously is about learning lessons and teaching these kids to play a game, but also learn about themselves. And this is an opportunity for Seaford to have a couple of lessons learned for them too. A team that has aspirations to get to the LICs, quite frankly, getting punched in the mouth at home.
Yeah, you know what? It's still we talked about very early in the frame, it's still a very long season. And Seaford has a great coaching staff. Sorry, that was a big run there, and they return. Seaford has a great coaching staff, and they're going to get the kids' attention next week in practice. No one anticipated Seaford being 1-2 going into week 4. So you're going to find out a lot about your team right here. You're going to find out if your kids are still willing to fight and what they're willing to do to still compete. And that's what the coaching staff is going to look for here. Are my kids going to fight and work with each other and continue to try to win this game? You'll find out a lot about your team. Unfortunately, it looks like Winston's coming off the game limping a little bit here after the return.
Yeah, Liam Winston, first year coming out of the backfield, a little undersized. Yeah, you were talking about nicknames before. His nickname is Sticks. A couple of nicknames on Seaford, obviously. Winston is Sticks. Carl Ludesdorff, who wants to go into the military wearing number 50. His nickname is the Lieutenant.
Oh, that's a good nickname.
And here's Kevin Knox.
Seaford came out with a little option play here. North Shore stayed at home, ready for it. Stops him for no gain. I'll tell you, it's getting cold here. We're going to have to get this Tertian family on some heaters for us. Ben, if you're listening, send some heaters.
You want to say that? I don't think the mic picked that up. If you can say it one more time, just so we have
slower or
both, whatever. We'll
right.
have a couple of takes.
All right. Tertians, heaters.
On 2nd and 10, Kevin Knox again. And a pickup of a yard.
Yeah, unfortunately for Seaford, North Shore realizes the victory's at hand here. They're still playing hard, making tackles. The good thing is Seaford is still fighting here. That's what you want to see on your team. You want to see them fight.
Well, and I think it goes back to the point that you made earlier, too, for those watching saying, well, why isn't Seaford throwing the ball? And they're not really accustomed to doing so. So, therefore, you can't just change it mid-game. But Costello will throw on 3rd and long.
Nice play.
And completes the pass for a first down.
You know, what people don't understand is, oh, yeah, just throw the ball. Well, you need 5 offensive linemen to block. The other team is going to stunt. You got to make sure they're communicating. You need receivers to run their routes. And most importantly, you need a kid who's going to catch the ball. So, again, you want to throw the ball when you want to throw the ball, not when the other team is telling you have to throw the ball. But that was a really nice play by Seaford to get the first down there.
That's Kyle Britton, the sophomore. Moving the chains for the Vikings of Seaford. And on the high snap, Costello throwing again. Big block by Knox, but the pocket collapses. Flag is down. Spiraled over near side. And a crushing hit. La Rosa, but the catch is made. On the near side, and then a flag afterwards. Well, Seaford just lost Liam Whiston.
Well, we definitely have a holding in the back. Let's see on this hit. It looked like a clean hit right off the bat, but let's see if he hits him head-to-head here. There's the flag on the hold, so it's coming back.
That was Harrington making the catch.
It was with his shoulder. It looked like it was above the neck. And in this day and age with player safety and the young man is still down, you're going to call that. Hopefully he's okay.
Both teams will take a knee and see exactly what the penalty is, where it offsets and where it'll be spotted too. Vinny Oliva.
And again, I mentioned earlier, Vinny's one of the top crews in Nassau County. I'm sure they threw the flag. They thought the hit was up high, so they're going to call it because player safety is the most important thing here. Again, on the replay, it looked more like a shoulder to the head, but either way, you got to protect the kids, and that's the most important thing. Whether it's called a penalty or not, we got to keep these kids safe.
100%. So Oliva is talking to somebody on North Shore.
I think that's Danny Agavino.
Waiting to see the explanation on that, but meanwhile on the other side, Harrington gets up, which is good to see.
Happy to see he bounced up.
So the penalties will offset. Like a chop block and a hit as well. So they'll replay the down, about 6.5 to go in the fourth quarter. But one thing too, Roddy, is that Sean Costello has been slinging it, and he's been completing his passes.
Yeah, he scrambled nice there. Got the ball off. We're going to have a little delay as they talk about what's going on here. Penalties offset in that situation. You know, like I mentioned before this drive start, we're going to see, what type of fight Seaford has, and I'm sure they're going to respond after that hit to show their teammate that they're with them.
Meanwhile, now Agavino getting an explanation, from Vinny Oliva. Do you know what he's arguing here? Or?
No, I don't know. Vinny's pushing him off, saying get off the field. I don't know what, obviously if the refs think you hit someone to the head, I always just ask, and if they see it, whether it's right or wrong, and they called it, you got to agree with them because of the kids' safety. We don't want to see any of these kids get hurt, especially with hits to the head and neck. That would be terrible. So I'm guessing he's questioning something else, maybe illegal chop block, maybe something else happened on the play that he's questioning.
So on 1st and 10, from the 49, Costello will throw. Passes it near side, and it is completed. That's Kyle Britton again.
Nice catch. He bobbled it and pulled it back in. Good ball. Again, Seaford's taking advantage of North Shore playing off the ball. They're really deep. So what they're doing is they're just running 8 to 10-yard curl routes. You'll see Britton right here, sticks his foot in the ground. I really like how he comes back to the ball, puts his hands out there and catches the ball. Really nice play by Britton.
Under 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Aiden Calvaca gets the carry and pushes ahead. Down to the 38.
Good hard run by Calvaca there.
Well, you'd have to imagine here Seaford's in the hurry-up offense.
And again, we could sit here and myself and you could question that, but we don't know what Seaford practices to hurry up because they're usually running the ball down team. Usually it's them up 21-0 right now into the game.
On second down, Costello.
Nice ball.
Wings it near side, and a nice sliding catch. That's Devin O'Donnell.
I'll tell you, Costello, the quarterback, he's giving their coaches a little bit to think about here, right? So this kid's throwing the ball. He steps up, nice pocket awareness, steps up and throws a nice ball on the run right there. Seaford might have to start looking at maybe we got to throw the ball a little bit more and put the ball in his hands.
Under 5 to play. First down from the 20. Costello calling his own number and a pickup of 5.
It's getting a little chippy out there. A little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of the whistle. And again, as a head coach, you're happy that Seaford, your team is fighting. They're willing to put in the work, even though they're probably going to lose this game. But they're still fighting with every last breath they have, and that's a good sign for the Seaford coaching staff and the Seaford team.
Well, and you have to know, too, that both of these teams circled this game on their schedule.
Yep. And I'll tell you this, Seaford's 1-2. It wouldn't surprise anyone if they finished the season at, 5-2, 6-2, whatever, 6-2, whatever it might be.
Costello floats it. Far side to the end zone, incomplete. TJ Harrington wanted a flag on Peter Lano.
Yeah, good no call there. Ball's up in the air. They both contacted each other. The ball looked like it was going out of bounds, too. I know the Seaford fans and the Seaford coaching staff is looking for one, but I think that's a good no call on that play. I think if the ball's a little bit inside and if it was a little bit of a fight for then you could argue it, but and you can see the Seaford staff is getting on it. They're looking for any advantage they can get at this point. And you can't blame them.
You've got 3rd and 6. You've got 2 timeouts. And that's what Olive is saying, that there was no penalty there. Costello into the flat. This is Britton. Britton's had his number called quite a few times this drive, and he's delivered.
I'll tell you, he's really good with the ball, whether it's kickoffs or catching the ball. He has nice little moves, and he's a sophomore, you said, right?
Yep.
So he's going to have a bright future. Wouldn't be surprised if at some point, instead of a receiver, he's in the backfield.
That'll lead us to the 4-minute warning. North Shore with a 21-0 lead against Seaford on the road. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, powered by Orland and Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
Back here in the fourth quarter, Seaford trying to mount a comeback. 4-minute warning is gone. They've got 2 timeouts to play with. Costello
Nice
flips
ball.
it. End zone. Touchdown. Aiden Calvaca gets Seaford on the board on the touchdown strike from Sean Costello.
Again, Costello sets his feet and throws a nice ball. Seaford has a quarterback that can throw, and they got some athletes that can catch the ball. Little wheel route up the sideline, short side of the field. Calvaca jumps up, makes a great play over number 7. Seaford's on the board, still have some fight in them.
It's a 19-yard TD for Aiden Calvaca. His 4th overall touchdown of the season. The first 3 were running. As TJ Harrington shanks it to the right. But either way, for Seaford, they're making it interesting. Late in the 4th quarter, they're trying to mount a comeback on the Varsity Media Sports Network presented by Orland and Cohen.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Teed off by shoulder pain? We've got specialists for that. Realizing you've pulled out more than weeds? We've got specialists for that. Doing the twist making you shout? We've got specialists for that. Orland & Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Back here in the 4th quarter, just over 3.5 minutes to go. Seaford is on the board. It's 21-6. You'd have to imagine that they're going for an onside kick, so Dan Agavino will send the hands team up front.
And this is just the bounce of a ball. No matter how many times you go over this in practice, you never know which way the ball is going to bounce. It could bounce off a shoulder, bounce off a shin.
As Harrington is looking in the direction of, that's Justin Rosen over there, Nick LaRosa as well. As it goes over the head of LaRosa, but a nice leaping grab by John Half. Half a junior. Perhaps might have sealed the deal for North Shore.
Yeah. Good recovery there by North Shore. And, now it should just be run the ball. Seaford will probably bang their 2 timeouts right away. Unfortunately, they used one at the end of the 3rd quarter. I mean, this has got to be LaRosa time, right? Let him pound it behind your best lineman. They got the big guys. They got 62, Godfrey in. They also have Gates in. This is just going to be, there it is.
You called it right on cue, LaRosa. Charging ahead. We'll see if and when Seaford uses their final 2 timeouts.
Danny Agavino's yelling down there. It looked like the Seaford linebacker came in and chopped, which is illegal. You can't just chop a guy that's coming to block you. You don't want to get anybody hurt at this time. And Vinny Oliva, again, because he's a good official, he's going over to Seaford. You can see him walking over to the linebackers right now, telling them, hey, you can't be chopping guys as they're coming out to block you. And that's what makes Vinny such a good official. He may have missed it. He might not have called it, but he's going to let everybody know not to do it again or it's going to get called.
Well, there is LaRosa. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and is close to a first down. We'll see if they award it to him. But either way, Nick LaRosa coming up huge in winning time.
At this point in the game, if I'm North Shore, the game's pretty much wrapped up. I'm calling a timeout. I'm getting LaRosa out of this game. I'm getting Lavati out of this game. I'm putting my second guys in and letting Seaford see that I'm putting my second guys in so they do the same. I'm not taking a chance of somebody getting injured or somebody doing something stupid at this point. You still have a 14-point lead. The game's in hand. Don't get anybody hurt.
Well, a first down might lead that to fruition as LaRosa stumbled in front, but he'll have enough for a first down.
And not only are you getting your first guys out and not getting them hurt, but all these guys that are part of your team, your second and third string guys that practice all week, that do everything for your team, they get a chance to get the ball and to block and to play. And I think that's real important in building your program. You can see one sub came in right now. You know, I always tried to make it known like, hey, I'm going to call a timeout. You're going to see that I'm subbing my guys in. You should be subbing your guys in as well. And here come a bunch of guys for North Shore.
Danny Sordiatis was a starter. He comes back on.
Looks like they're taking a knee because Vinny's moving up.
Yeah, so just a couple of kneel downs for North Shore.
They're going to have to do that one more time and the game's over.
Well, what an effort by North Shore on the road on a Friday night under the lights. They were economical, precisional, and getting it done in all fashions. Ground and pound smash mouth football, showing why they're one of the favorites in Conference 4.
Very impressive. They, as good as they were last year, they might be even that much better. And John and Chris, I just want to thank you guys for having me. What a great pleasure it was to work this game. Really appreciate it.
Oh, likewise. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully we see you in the future as North Shore improves to 3-0 with a 21-6 victory on the road against Seaford. Nick Lavati has a couple of touchdowns as Garrett Gates put the seal on it with his first touchdown of the year. Peter Leota, the quarterback, made his biggest plays on defense. He had an interception and a fumble recovery as North Shore stays perfect and Seaford will fall to 1-2. So that'll do it from Seaford. This has been a Varsity Media production for our cameramen James Shuckle and Rob Bianco, and Chris Sweeney, the technical director, Ben Turchin, the executive producer. This is John Perez saying so long from Seaford High School. This has been a presentation of Varsity Media presented by Orland and Cohen.